Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here. I got my man Luke in the house. Let's get right to it. Awesome game night tonight. We got Magic taking on Celtics, Heat taking on the Cavs, and of course, Houston. Do we have a problem?
We might have a problem here, guys.
Oh man, we might have a problem. Why do we feel like the Houston Rockets cannot even contend with the Golden State Warriors?
And you know what? This is the greatest opportunity to see how great Steph Curry has been for so long. You know, he has changed the game with three-point shooting.
Yeah.
You know, he had that 1-3 in game one where he shot it like 20 feet
over
the backboard with Jaylen Green in his face. He's unstoppable. You can't stop Curry.
I feel like the reason why his shot got even higher is because of Wemby. Ever since he came into the league, it's just like you gotta go around this guy kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But tonight, we have the Golden State Warriors up on the Houston Rockets, 1-0. Who do you have tonight coming out of that?
That's a good question. You know, the young Bulls are probably gonna want some revenge tonight, and you know they're at home, right?
Yeah.
So you know they got the fans wanting them to win too and everything, but you know, this is the Golden State Warriors with, you know, Klay Thompson's no longer there. But to be honest, Klay Thompson was kind of washed up by the end of it. It's impossible to come back from, you know...
Oh, 100%.
You know, tearing your ACL or MCL.
ACL, and then you had... He tore his
Achilles
right?
too, yeah.
That's insane.
Only a couple, like a handful, not even a handful of players have been able to come back from that kind of injury, like Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant, and sort of replicate what they did before. And Klay Thompson wasn't able to. But... picking up Jimmy Butler, who playoff Jimmy,
dude. Playoff Jimmy. There's only two guys, other than Kobe Bryant, who have changed the entire playoff series, in my opinion, and that's Rajon Rondo, and now you have Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
What Jimmy Butler did to the Boston Celtics, I think, 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was insane, and now he doesn't even have to be Batman.
No.
He can just be Robin.
You have the greatest shooter of all time, and they have to double team him, triple team him, and he's playing off ball where he's cutting back door and allowing Jimmy Butler to work his own game. And his game is the playoffs.
Oh, 100%. And so I get it what you're saying. The Houston Rockets want revenge, and you cannot go down 0-2 at home, but at the end of the day, they got no experience.
And that's what playoffs come down to. At the end of the day, it is who is more experienced, who has more, you know, games in the playoffs. And if you do have more games, your odds of winning probably are, you know, so much higher than a new team who's just made it there and they have new pieces together. They've never done this before.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got the Warriors definitely taking this one home tonight.
Do you feel, and I told this to a buddy of mine, do you feel that the Houston Rockets not only have a problem, but they have a broom problem because they're about to get swept?
You know what? I think I can hear the sweep.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I can hear it. The mop, get the mop too.
Yeah,
just wash the floor.
Yeah, Swiffer on that one too. Hey, might as well. But okay, so now we have Houston Rockets. We can both agree that they're not going to win tonight. Hey, you know, maybe they might prove us wrong, but we'll see.
We will see, yeah.
Let's move on to the next one. Magic versus Celtics. Jayson Tatum is out.
Yeah, no star for the Celtics. I mean, but their team is so deep, though.
Oh, 100%.
So, and, you know, they're not only are they so deep, but they have the experience, and they've been playing together for over 5 years. The same core group of guys. Peyton Pritchard is amazing. He's young. He can shoot the three.
Yeah.
He's the effort guy. Same with Jaylen Brown. You know, he plays good defense. You know, he needs to work on his left hand, but everything other than that, he's a great player.
Peyton won the sixth man, right?
He did.
I
think so.
Yeah.
And that's impressive.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
It's really impressive. Naz Reid had it the year before, but I remember watching some games this year of Peyton Pritchard. I think he had a game where he had 45 or something at the beginning of the season. He's amazing. I really like watching him, even though the Celtics are my nemesis, but I love him. I love this kid.
It's a close matchup.
Yeah.
In the second quarter. So now without Jayson Tatum, can the Magic pull off an upset and take Game 2?
You know, Paulo Banchero is a superstar, going to be a superstar potentially. He's big, he's comfortable, he's really, come to life in the last couple years, and I can see them definitely taking this game if they,
Really?
play their best. They have to play the best basketball.
Yeah, no.
You cannot let the Celtics go on any runs. You can't let Peyton Pritchard get hot, Jaylen Brown get hot, Derek White. Is Porzingis playing?
No. Actually, I think he is. I believe he is playing.
I mean, if Porzingis is spreading the floor and able to connect on the three, the Celtics are most likely going to take this game.
Yeah, 100%. So now, Celtics take this game, and do you feel that the Celtics can sweep?
That's a good question. It's the same thing with the Warriors game, the series. Playoff experience is what it comes down to at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're a new team and you make it to the playoffs after being, like the 15th seed or the 14th seed that year, like multiple years prior, and it's your first time making it to the playoffs, and you get swept, you didn't have any expectations on you.
No.
And that was your first time getting into it, and you learn a lot, and they're going to learn a lot, and even if they get swept or not, but it's most likely that they probably will be, just like the Warriors.
I like how you say inexperienced, because remember, this core group, I wouldn't say the entire core group, but Boston Celtics, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, rewind 5 years ago, they were in the same position Orlando is right now.
Exactly, and you kind of see history repeat itself with a new young team who's looking great, like OKC. They same thing. They got knocked out early.
Yeah.
They're now the first seed. They're gonna sweep.
Oh my God, they're gonna sweep.
They're gonna sweep real hard this time.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
No.
Chet Holmgren with a double-double.
Oh yeah.
Shai with 27, 28. They're unstoppable against Memphis.
Yeah, no, it's just, it's pretty hard to imagine. But the next matchup, Cavs versus the Miami Heat. Now, Miami Heat are the 8th seed, and they barely got into the play-in tournament. And Cavs just steamrolled everybody, especially in the East.
It wasn't even close this year.
No, not even a chance, right? I never expected that much from the Cavs, but they proved me wrong because they stuck with this core. They granted Donovan Mitchell that extension, and now look where they are.
They're in a great position.
So are they sweeping too then, or?
They should.
Yeah.
They if they want to have a better chance, to win the next round and continue further to the conference finals, they want as much rest as possible. Every team does. It's win or go home. And if you get to, take a couple days off where you're, dealing with an injury that's kind of minor and you get to get back to 100% and go play your game in the next series, you want the sweep. And so I feel like OKC should have that urgency. And same with the Cavs. They should have the urgency to sweep this one out.
The faster you sweep, the more rest you get. And let's just say, God forbid, anything happens to their players, whether they get injured or not, they get their rest time.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's huge because you don't know how long that next series is going to go. That next series could be a 7-game series where you're playing super physical basketball like all playoff basketball has been this year, as we've seen with the Laker game last night. Like, that was... We'll get into that, but... it's just so physical compared to the regular season. It's completely bipolar. So, I sure do hope that they, I love the Heat. I'm a Tyler Hero fan. I've been watching him since high school on the mixtapes back in high school. He was amazing. But the Cavs, they're just on a tear. They can't be stopped by.
No, and
the Heat.
It's just, I feel like it's going to be a sweep. And so that takes care of tonight's games. You brought up the Lakers.
I did.
And there's a clip that we want to show you. And we're running through it now. We'll just analyze it afterwards.
Yeah.
So let's run to the clip.
Doncic and Edwards. Cutting Dorian Finney-Smith. They swing it around. Luka for three.
Okay, we're back. And what do you think about that clip?
I mean, this is beautiful. I mean, showing when the Lakers can actually execute, their offense, pass the ball and run it to a T. They ran this play perfectly. Luka up top, passing it to the backdoor cutter, swing it to the corner swings it to the wing back to the top. Luka is wide open. And Luka doesn't miss wide open shots. It was just amazing. I can't believe it. Like seeing that compared to, the game before where they weren't able to execute.
Yeah.
And they ran that same play, not just one time, but they were running it all night. And so, I mean, it's just great to see.
In case anyone didn't know, he is a phenomenal coach, by the way, and he knows his plays. So when he texted me about this play, I was like, wow. Like, he knows this right off the hand. And, yeah, unbelievable play. So, speaking of Lakers, it was very physical. And I remember texting you last night. I said that was a very sloppy second half by the Lakers.
Super sloppy. I mean, the refs, too, it was a really weird game. Everyone was in foul trouble early for the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And that kind of came from them taking some shots at the Lakers.
Oh, I know.
There was some elbows thrown. There was some words. I mean, there's always going to be words between Luka and even pregame.
Oh, man, yeah.
Pregame and Luka.
Yeah, no, it's just... I mean, there's no need for that, but, I mean, it is what it is. But Luka went off on that guy.
I mean, he did, and Anthony Edwards did not turn into prime MJ and, do his thing like he needs to do if they want to win this series.
But that's the thing, though, right? Like, I get the comparisons about him and MJ.
They just look the same.
They look the same.
They just look similar.
But it's kind of like, dude, you have so much to prove if people want to compare him to MJ.
I mean, there is nobody even coming close to what MJ did.
Oh, no way.
And even if you have MJ as the GOAT and LeBron number 2, no one's ever going to touch LeBron, so how can you get to MJ?
Exactly, right? Like, it's just...
I think they just say that because he's like a modern day guy who's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were throwing punches almost at the Lakers. Those elbows,
Oh, you saw that leg lock by...
they leg locked Luka.
Yeah, that was...
There was a bunch of stuff going on.
That was a dirty play.
There were some definite dirty plays. And in the second half, the Lakers they didn't fall apart completely.
Yeah.
They went on a couple good runs to maintain the lead. But other than that, their defense was the main thing that won them that game last night.
Oh, 100%. So, Game 3, Minnesota... I'm not 100% when it is.
Friday. 6:30.
6:30. Who do you have coming out?
This is tough. I mean, it's Luka Doncic. When he's in an enemy arena and people are booing at him and making Luka mad.
Yeah.
What do we see?
Oh, I love that.
We see, his emotions come out. And when Luka's playing with emotion and like his feel for the game, he's just on a whole nother level.
Reminds me of Kobe.
He really does.
Mentality, yeah.
He's got that killer mentality where he just wants to completely destroy everyone on the court.
Yeah.
And as soon as he gets off, he's this nice laughing guy. Kobe not so much, but Kobe was rough on the court and off.
Yeah.
But that's why we loved him.
Yeah.
But I think the Lakers have a good chance of taking Game 1, with the streak of coming off a win.
Yeah.
But it is enemy territory. There's a lot of factors that come into this. What do you think?
The thing is, if they continue to be physical, which they have to be, I think the X factor's got to be Rui, because you need a big body down low to either go up against Gobert, Randall. Then you got Naz Reid. So you know it.
They're really tall
They're very tall
and athletic and fast.
100%.
And their fast breaks are pretty unstoppable. You know, they were destroying the Lakers in fast break points in the first game and I think in the second.
Yeah.
But they're gonna need to come out and make, you know, at least more than 5 threes though. If they want to win a game, they can't be shooting like, what was it, 21% from 3.
What is that? Like this, the second half was just wow. I couldn't believe it, and I texted you. I said, "Oh my god, I cannot believe this," because they cut it down to single digits.
They cut it down to single digits multiple times, but I don't think they got within less than 6 points.
No.
But the Lakers had to put everything out there to maintain the win on that one for sure.
So okay, now we both agree that OKC's can just mop the floor with the Memphis Grizzlies. Right?
No doubt.
And then you have the Clippers taking on the Denver Nuggets. And everything you hear is Kawhi Leonard, prime Kawhi, turning back the clock, and yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, this is Joker.
I know. And that was one game.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can't be calling it prime Kawhi when you watch him, you know, execute for one game. Kawhi's biggest problem has been, you know, fatigue and injury. And, you know, consistency with that. And if he can't be consistent with his health and his game, he's not prime Kawhi.
Exactly.
And Denver, you know, Denver's unstoppable when Jokic is doing his thing and passing the ball and shooting, you know, crazy one-leg step-back threes.
I just feel like the Russell Westbrook needs to, like, I get it, he's like just this Energizer Bunny, but
that's true.
Do not blow this, because the thing is, don't go so fast. Again, this is playoff basketball, half court. Don't go wild.
And that was his biggest problem, you know, in the last couple of years is, you know, his tank is running out.
Yeah.
Any player, you know, Blake Griffin, who is like a dunker and like a guy who can jump and is fast, you know, their legs are going to start giving out.
Yeah.
And you could see that with Russ. I mean, he's still incredibly fast and amazing. But, you know, the jump shot's not there. And when you're playing in a half-court set, there's not a lot of run-and-gun fast breaks. And so, and he can't shoot.
Yeah.
You know, when he's out of control, he gets a lot of turnovers. And that's just not what the Nuggets need. They need a half-court set with shooters to spread the floor for Jokic and Jamal Murray.
Well, speaking of the Denver Nuggets, did you read that report of Michael Porter Jr. having kind of like a shoulder problem or something? I can't remember.
I didn't.
So I'm not 100% sure he's going to be ready for the next game, Game 3 in LA, but we'll see what happens.
That's a big factor. Yeah. You know, he was the key piece that beat the Lakers last year.
Yeah.
And probably the year before, too, because they've been destroying them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it was always, you know, they would have 4 guys on Jokic, and then Jamal Murray would do his thing and hit game winners. And when it wasn't Jamal Murray, it was MPJ. And he was hitting spotted 3 after spotted 3. He doesn't do much else, but he can knock down the 3, though.
So, okay, now we got the playoffs underway. We we talked about it, we analyzed it. I want to go back to this, like, free agency and trades in the offseason, because there are some major rumors out there. The Milwaukee Bucks are not doing well. Because even despite what Doc Rivers is saying, hey, I'm confident, I'm like, what the hell? Right?
I mean, it's hard to be confident when, you know, you're not looking great.
Exactly, right? So now, all of a sudden, you hear these rumors about Giannis saying that the Nets are interested. I get it. Nets are going to be interested in this guy. But do the Milwaukee Bucks trade him? A, because I did not know this. He apparently has some businesses up in New York.
Interesting.
So he may end up there. But there's this one rumor I heard today, and I couldn't believe my ears. The San Antonio Spurs can actually trade for Giannis.
That would be insane.
That's literally insane. They have like so many picks, like 5 or 6 picks that are not even theirs.
They're just other people's picks, other teams' picks.
Yeah, and then Stephon Castle, the rookie of the year, they might give him. Well, they have to give him up. So, yeah, what do you think about that rumor if that happens?
You know, I mean, seeing Giannis and Wemby on the same team.
Oh my God!
Could you imagine them? Just imagine this: Wemby and Giannis running a pick and pop, not even a pick and roll. Who is taking a switch? You know, and like even if you're a 7-footer and you got to guard one player that is a mainly inside the paint 7-footer, and then you get switched on to an outside point guard 7'4" player.
Yeah.
You know, who can shoot over anyone and is young enough to where he's only going to be getting better.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be really fun to see.
It's mind-boggling if that actually happens. But another rumor is Kevin Durant. Now, there's 2 rumors regarding the Suns. Suns might get Bob Myers in the offseason. We don't know. But then all of a sudden, I'm hearing other rumors that the Miami Heat, the San Antonio Spurs, the Houston Rockets, the New York Knicks are all interested in Kevin Durant.
I mean, who wouldn't be interested in Kevin Durant? It's Kevin Durant.
I know, yeah.
It's Kevin Durant.
In your opinion, where does he end up?
You know, it's a hard one. Is he going to be a free agent?
No, he's got 1 more year left.
Okay.
But regardless, if the Phoenix Suns do end up trading him, which they might, but if all of a sudden Bob Myers comes on, he might just say no because of his past relationship with Bob Myers.
Yeah.
But if he does say trade me,
where is he going to end up?
He's got 1 more year left on his contract. And
how old is he now?
35, 36?
Yeah.
He's coming off that Achilles tear.
He is.
Right?
And he hasn't really been the same since that.
No.
He obviously has not been able to replicate a ring without Steph Curry. Which is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Just proves more how great Steph Curry is by winning, multiple rings without Kevin Durant. But Kevin Durant, who is probably the best, scorer of all time, other than maybe Kobe. It's close.
Yeah.
He's definitely better at the 3 than Kobe. But he's one of the best scorers to ever be in the game, and he hasn't been able to win a chip without the best shooter in the game.
Exactly.
So it kind of, is lingering on his legacy, so he kind of needs to make something happen. Maybe join, a bigger team who's got a good shot.
Yeah. You know what? I think this is the first year I've never seen Kevin Durant in the playoffs.
I wonder how many years it's been since he's missed.
It's been a long time.
It's definitely been a long time.
Remember that year that he took off for his Achilles?
Yeah.
That was the only time.
Yeah, other than that, he'd been going since OKC.
Yeah. Unless
with Russ and James.
Unless there was 1 year after his Achilles that he was teaming with Kyrie. So I don't know.
Oh, the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
I don't know if they made it.
No, I can't remember. But before we sign off here, couple games into the NBA playoffs. Top 4. Who do you have in the East and who do you have in the West?